Howdy, howdy, everyone. Welcome to another Monday, another crappy Monday. And I am doing a live broadcast. You know, I just love to do these, so it just so happens that something came up where I can talk about it, which is that it's not really a big deal to me, but I thought it was kind of funny that, Microsoft, again, has this terrible PR where they're like, no, our games are definitely staying exclusive to our consoles. We no plans to put them on other devices. And even though this isn't first party, it was highly touted as an exclusive game. So yeah, I find it to be a little bit funny. What's up, everybody? Hey, what's up? I see you guys there in the chat, and girls in the chat. Thank you guys so much. As you guys join in, please like and share this video out. I would appreciate it. I like to get likes early and often, if you guys don't mind. Yeah, this is just one of those things that I just found to be kind of funny. Sort of like today and the past 2 days, I've seen a lot of Xbox fans really hype up Gears Pop. And I found that to be a little bit funny because I think the only reason why Xbox fans are hyping this game, one, there's not really much else to hype right now. Two, it's an Xbox or a Microsoft-made thing. So that, to me, just goes to show you kind of where people's heads are at when it comes to Xbox, where as long as Microsoft makes it, they'll support it and think it's great no matter how good or bad it is. And again, I just find that to be a little bit dubious. I don't download it. I don't play mobile games, so it's not really something that I'm ever going to be interested in or interested in as a. Even though I'm a Gears of War fan, I can't imagine playing a phone mobile game with one of my favorite franchises. So yeah, that's probably not going to happen. Especially like pay-to-win situations, which I've seen a lot of. Just interesting little observation that I've made, and just happy to kind of be here and see everything's up. Let me see. Oh, as you guys get in here, please like and share. I appreciate that, Lethal Snowflake. Excuse me. Yeah. So anyway, always happy to get in here and kind of talk a little bit about what's going on in terms of the gaming world and stuff like that. So Ashen, while not a big exclusive or a huge deal, this was a game that a lot of Xbox fans were hyping up in 2018, and it looks like it'll only be exclusive for a year as it's going to PlayStation 4 on December 9th. So that's very interesting. It's very much like a Dark Souls type of game with a minimalist art style. And a lot of people were hyping this game and very excited about it, and now it's coming to PlayStation 4. What's interesting to me is that this is one of those games where it was hyped up as one of those 18 exclusives coming to Xbox, and now you kind of see that, what that really means. Like, I don't really trust anything when they announce it as exclusive or coming to Xbox or whatever. Like, those things never actually end up working out the way that Microsoft kind of intends it to, or how they claim it to. So, and I know that they're not the only ones that do that. Hey, what's up, Dominic? Appreciate you coming out. Hold on. FR Dispatch says, poor Crapgamer, not excited for Horde or multiplayer, but has a Gears tattoo for life. Yeah, I'm not a Horde gamer. I'm not really into Horde. I would be excited about the multiplayer, but there's no way to turn off the crossplay with PC in the in the non-ranked modes. So yeah, I'm definitely probably not going to spend much time in the multiplayer. I spent quite a bit of time in the Gears of War 4 multiplayer, but again, that was totally abandoned. I never ever ran into like PC players on that. But yeah, it's just one of those things. I doubt that I'll be spending much time with the multiplayer. I'm going to play through the campaign. Like always. Again, I didn't even buy the game. I just have Game Pass Ultimate, so I already have it pre-installed, ready to go, and then I'll be able to play it. And I'll check out the multiplayer for sure. I just don't see myself spending a lot of time on it simply because, they don't give you the option to play either via input device or to disable crossplay altogether, which I find to be weird considering it's a first-party thing, and they're the ones that sort of make that or whatever. So yeah, definitely very interested to see how that kind of turns out in the long term. Like, what are people going to do when that actually starts to happen? You know what I mean? Like when the cheating starts happening and stuff like that. I think it's going to be very interesting to see that. So no, man, look, a Horde is fine. I don't have a problem with it. I just personally, you have to, people that play that mode have a ton of time, because to get to level 50 or whatever, it really does take a long time. And that's really, really one of those things that that should be kind of taken a look into account. Like, I don't have 4 or 5 hours anymore to spend playing these games, unfortunately. So maybe 10 years ago I did, but just not anymore. It's not at the time where I can actually go out there and kind of do that. So hopefully, and that's not to say I won't ever play Horde. I played it a couple of times on Gears of War 4, and hopefully, I'll play it and it's fun or whatever. I mean, the game looks good. I'm not saying that the game looks bad or it's a bad game or anything like that. I think it's a fine game. Unfortunately, what I see right now is Control getting some incredible reviews. I actually am jealous. I wanted to be able to play it, but I probably won't be able to play it till the middle of next month, just due to financial problems and stuff like that. But for me, that game looks really good. See, this is what annoys me about Control, right? It's everything that Quantum Break 2 could have been. This could have been Quantum Break 2, and we could, as Xbox fans, been getting a game with a mid-80s Metacritic as an exclusive, and Microsoft just was like couldn't see any hope in that brand or whatever. I don't understand it. I really don't understand it, but I hope that I just think that it's one of those things that kind of just comes with the territory, I guess. I don't know, but it really is a shame to see so many people giving this thing a great console game, again, a single player game, and that's where I think a lot of people are going to get into it. So I'm happy to see that it's getting good reviews, because believe it or not, good reviews help out a game like this. It launches in the middle of summer. Nobody's paying much attention to it, but all of a sudden it's getting some great exclusive reviews, some really good reviews. Even IGN gave it an 8.8, and now people are kind of coming around and saying, hey, I wasn't going to pick this up, but now I'm going to pick it up because it looks like it's going to be good. And and I think that plays a huge part in it, right? Look how many times Xbox has launched a game and it got piss poor reviews, and so people are like, well, you know what I mean, I'm not going to play that or whatever. So yeah, it is nice to see that these games are getting it's getting some pretty good review scores and things like that. Right now it sits at an 81 on PS4, and it sits at a 84 on the Xbox One. So yeah, think about this, ladies and gentlemen. We could have a new IP getting a sequel, because basically, from what I understand from reading some of the reviews, is this is very much sort of like Quantum Break or whatever. So yeah, like that to me kind of tells you everything that you need to know. Almost 200 watching. Please hit the like button. I would appreciate it. Yeah, Mark, Microsoft lied. Microsoft lies a lot. They're the ones that keep listing things as exclusive or whatever. You know what I mean? If it's exclusive, then it's exclusive. If it's not going to stay there, then you should stay right from the start. Sorry, this game's going to go to, other platforms after a certain amount of time. Like, I don't understand what the point is on hiding from that. You know what I mean? Rohit says, crap, you think Cuphead and Ori 2 will go now after Switch? I don't think that it'll go to PS4, because I think that Microsoft is starting to understand that it makes them look bad by having people realize that they could just wait out their games and get them on their preferred platform. Like, the whole part of getting people to buy your platform is the exclusive content and stuff like that. Bone Slave says Gears 5 will be better than any exclusive multiplayer game on PS4 this gen. Big facts. Is it though? I mean, is it going to really be better? I'm not sure if it's going to be better, for the simple fact that there's going to be a big problem with the crossplay situation. So yeah, I'm not, you know what I mean? Like, I think that's going to be a bit of a problem for a lot of people. So hopefully it's not going to be too big of a problem, and they can implement it pretty quickly. You know what I mean? I'm hoping that they can implement some changes to that really quickly. So that's the hope anyway, just because I don't want to see all that hard work come down to to like I said, all that hard work come down to people cheating or whatever in the game, and I feel like that would be a bit of a misnomer there, if that were to happen. So I would love to see them actually go out there and kind of do something really good for a change, and just go, hey, we're gonna go out there and we're gonna support this, or we're gonna do that. And that's what I think everybody's looking for. You know what I mean? To say, hey, we're listening to the fans. We understand that you guys have a bit of an issue with this game being crossplay with PC, unchecked completely. And so I'm hoping that we actually get something like that along the lines, and not like how we had with Sea of Thieves, where so many people cheated with that game and yet nobody did anything about it. I never understood that, right? Like, holy cow, nobody did anything about that. There was so much cheating going on in that game. They're like, yeah, we're going to implement a way to turn off crossplay, and then nobody ever did. And so that to me was really one of the breaking points for me going back to that game, was the fact that people were actually cheating on that game. And I couldn't stand it. You never know if you're playing against somebody who's legitly beating you, or if they're actually or if they're cheating, using hacks or whatever. So hopefully that's something that Microsoft is wary of in the future. I've had my first issue where I ran into somebody, who was like, we don't even need the options, just grow a pair. We don't need the option to disable crossplay. Let's just let gamers grow gaming and all this kind of stuff. I'm like, well, you do realize that, there's an inherent advantage if you're using mouse and keyboard, especially on first-person shooters. And this dude was like, no, a good person with a controller will beat a great person with a mouse and keyboard every time. And he just was like talking out of his butt, and I was like, wow. Like, some Xbox fans are completely delusional when they say stuff like that. It doesn't have anything to do with being afraid or anything like that. You just want more of an even playing field. And so that's something that I was having a little bit of a problem with too. It's just like, I don't understand why Microsoft would be the only ones to not match people by input device, and two, give you the ability to disable it completely. I know they're trying to like mix the people together or whatever, because their ultimate goal is to have people on PC playing against people on a console, playing against people on a phone, playing against people on a tablet. You know what I mean? But they'd have to also understand that there is a huge difficulty when you mix those together, in terms of who has an advantage and who doesn't have an advantage. So I think that Microsoft should be very careful about that as well, just kind of going forward as well, just in my opinion anyway. Y9 Power, he says, fanatics keep asking the stupid question, how putting games on other platform hurts you. Me, it's the user base. Yeah, the user base. Not only that, but the whole reason for owning the console in the first place is because you're getting it for these experiences that you can't get on any other platform. As we hit 250 plus watching, please hit the like button, share it out, all that kind of great stuff. I would definitely appreciate it. So basically what happens is, how does it hurt you? Well, you spent money for a console that doesn't have anything that makes it special, that doesn't give you anything for it. That, like, if you would have known, I'm sure if people would have known that there was no like a special exclusives or anything like that on that console, that even most people that bought it wouldn't be playing it. Like, that's something that I think that people don't need to understand, is people buy these things for the unique experiences. Where would the Switch be without these great exclusives? People keep talking about how exclusives don't matter. It's only the Xbox people that ever say this. It's absolutely ridiculous. Why is it that only Xbox people bring this up? It's because Xbox people are the ones who don't have exclusives. So, of course, they're going to bring it up and act like, hey, everything's fine. We don't need exclusives. Everything's hunky-dory. Like, I don't get that kind of damage control. And personally, because clearly, in one breath, you're saying exclusives don't matter, and then in the next, you're hyping up these studios that are making what? Supposedly making exclusives. Right? So, I never got the whole sales argument, where people would say that sales don't matter, but then as soon as something happens where Microsoft or the Xbox were to actually win an NPD, or say Gears of War would be number one on the NPD for a month, people will start touting that, bragging about that. Same thing with Metacritic. How many times have I heard an Xbox fan go, it's fun, I don't even care what the Metacritic is, it could be 0, but I'm having fun with it. Well, then when the games get a high Metacritic score, then all of a sudden they love Metacritic again. You know what I mean? Like, so to me, that never made much sense. The way that people sort of just kind of, whatever narrative they had, sort of just going with that narrative instead of just being able to, just be honest about it. Like, if you're an Xbox fan, and when I say be honest about it, what I mean is quite simple. You just go, yeah, Xbox has had a rough go of it with their games. They're pretty low quality, but maybe in the future they'll be able to get some better quality games and things like that because, you know, they have invested. And, you know, I can understand and respect that more than somebody just going, oh, well, you know, I've had fun with them, you know, because if you look at stuff like Battletoads, you see the type of quality that we're in for with Xbox, and it just doesn't fit with what should be from a $1 trillion company. Obscura Art says, people who still defend the Xbox after all this are borderline cultists. If you're a real fan, call them out and hope you listen. Yeah, you know, you have to really hope that they do listen and that they are listening. I actually think that they probably are. I just have to think that it's taken them a little bit longer time than what they realize before they can really go out there and, you know, and implement some of these changes. I think that here's the thing, and I talked about this on M&C yesterday. Maybe you guys tuned in a little bit. We do it every Sunday, usually about noon. Sometimes I think we're going to go a little bit earlier as football season goes into full effect here in a couple of weeks, just because we got to be done in time for football, as you know. But, you know, we talked about a lot of the different things that are going on in sort of what's going on with these video games and stuff. And so what Xbox fans want is announcements of games, right? It doesn't have to be 10 announcements, but a good example that I gave on M&C show was this, and maybe you all will agree with me. Let me know in the chat. But they announced Gears of War Tactics coming to Xbox. This should have been something they actually announced at an Inside Xbox or something, right? Because Xbox fans had a reason to be upset about this, right? Over the past couple of years, there's been more quote-unquote PC or mobile exclusive game announcements than Xbox exclusive gaming announcements. So when people are like, how come PC is getting this exclusive tactical game? Or how, you know what I mean? And people were asking, and they're like, everybody just shrugging their shoulders like, I don't know. You know, I don't know. And now, so how do they announce this game? Rod Ferguson on Twitter is like, yeah, it's also coming to Xbox, right? So again, I just found like it to be a little bit funny that this is the type of situation that Xbox fans put themselves in, where, you know, they don't ask really much for more. You know what I mean? Like, if you're an Xbox fan, there's nothing wrong with asking for more or being critical. Not everything is, you know, fear-mongering. I get that. I get that one a lot. Oh, crap, you're a fear-mongerer. You monger fear. You know, like, oh, come on, man. I'm not a fear-monger. You know, I'm out here talking about the different things that Xbox is doing, and the potential of things that's, you know, that's actually happening, okay? I'm not one that's going to sit there and hide and tell everybody, hey, well, this studio is going to come out with something very soon, or they're working on a super secret project, because most of these studios aren't working on super secret projects. We know what they're working on. I did a video about it last night. It's like they're not working on anything specifically that's secret or amazing or great. It's like we know what's coming, and it's unfortunate that, you know, Microsoft sort of doesn't really get it the way that I would hope that they would, you know. Like, to me, I don't understand it, and hopefully you guys do it. Battle turds! Dude, don't do that to PlayStation 4. Shadow the Ghost says Battletoads is coming to PS4 soon. Dude, don't do that to PS4 fans, okay? Because PS4 fans don't deserve a game that bad, okay? Let's just be real. They deserve great games for great fans and a great company, okay? Excuse me. Brujo X. No, man, it's Crappy Mondays. I'm talking about all this stuff. When have I talked about, you know, when have I talked about this particular game, Ashen? I mean, there's a lot of other games that I could actually talk about that end up going. You know, of course, as you guys know, Ori and the Blind Forest ended up going to the Nintendo Switch as well, which I got told that was a great thing. I don't get how that's great either, but apparently a $1 trillion company in Microsoft, it means that we're going to get more games out of that. Yeah, I'm not really sure exactly what the deal is with that, but, you know, I do hope that it works out for Microsoft. You know, I know they're in desperate need of that money and that cash flow, you know, and hopefully they get it, because they're well deserving of that. You know, they definitely have had some problems in the money department. And no, who am I kidding? They don't need help with money. The $1 trillion company. How is putting Ori and the Blind Forest on the Switch going to help us get new exclusives? How, I ask you? How? Please, somebody clue me in on how that's actually going to work. Of course it's not going to work. Come on, man. Talus says you need to try Remnant. Man, if I wasn't broke, I would. You know, I want to try Control first. If somebody wants to hook me up, but otherwise I just have to wait till the middle of next month. Unfortunately, that's the way it is when you got bills and family and all that kind of stuff. But I am excited to try out. Control is going to be one that I'm going to get, and I'm going to get that before I get even like Borderlands or whatever. So thankfully, I didn't have to invest in you know, in Gears of War 5, because again, that's all thanks to Game Pass. You know, I just paid $1, upgraded my stuff, and boom, I'm going to be able to play it, even the Ultimate Edition or whatever, 4 days early. That, I think, is a value. That's one of the things that I definitely give Microsoft props for. They do a good job with that. I don't know how that's sustainable for a game that probably costs over $100 million to make, and Game Pass isn't even making $100 million a year or whatever. So, yeah, I don't know how that works out long-term for Microsoft, but that's not really my problem. I'm not a bookkeeper for Microsoft. I'm not an investor in Microsoft. So I'm just like, hey, I get this deal. I can play this game. So I'm excited by it. I'm looking forward to it. Mostly the campaign, to see what's up. And I'm going into it with a very open mind, open heart. You know, Gears 4 wasn't my favorite campaign, but I'm hoping that, you know, the Gears of War 5 one is something special and something worthwhile. Hey, over 300 people here. Please hit the like button. I would appreciate it. Make sure you guys ask your questions and stuff like that. I would appreciate it. Hotman says Microsoft doesn't want to make AAA games because they aren't as easy to port to other devices like Sea of Thieves and Minecraft. I thought Sea of Thieves for sure was going to be ported to other places, but it turns out no, they are thinking that that's something specifically tied to Xbox or whatever. So yeah, I'm not really exactly sure what the plan is, but you know, I just really think that it's going to be you know, how their future is. You know, they say one thing. Their PR has been absolutely terrible, though. You know, like, I've been very honest about that. I don't get what the PR is for them. You know what I mean? Like, it's just one of those situations where they say one thing one day, and then they say something completely different the next, and then something different, you know, 2 days after that. So yeah, I just think that that's unfortunate, and hopefully Microsoft can kind of you know, get that under control a little bit, just because I just feel like that's going to be like the important thing going forward. Like, you can't have mixed messaging going you know, going forward. You can't have that. Look at the mixed messaging and what it did to the Xbox One this generation. Absolutely, pretty much ruined what they were trying to do. So yeah, in my opinion, you can't really do that. You can't have such mixed messaging where it comes to gaming and exclusives and all this kind of stuff. You've got to have you know, you've got to have people, you know, excited. You've got to get people worked up and wanting to go out there and buy your stuff. You know, I feel like that's just the truth of the matter. You know, I understand that a lot of people are off the whole exclusive thing, basically just because Microsoft is off the whole exclusive thing, which basically should tell you right away that you're doing it wrong. If you're cheering or saying that exclusives don't matter only because Microsoft refuses to do them, then you're part of the problem, in my opinion. You know what I mean? And it is what it is. But I think that as far as I'm concerned, I got off that train, man. I got tired of people, you know, like, not having anything special to play on that console. Like, the Xbox One X is this amazing console, and we haven't had anything specifically for it that really takes advantage of it. So yeah, of course, I'm a little bit bitter and upset about that. But at the end of the day, I just feel like that's on Microsoft. They could have, at any point, probably bought some exclusive content for their fans and did a better job of that, just to get everybody excited. Hold on. Low End Average Gamer says, if that game, let's see, if that game had been only on Xbox One for the same price, I would have gotten it there. Well, maybe. I understand what you're saying. Con City says, my girlfriend mixed message me all the time. I mentioned this on Twitter, okay? I said, imagine if your girlfriend was as exclusive as Xbox exclusives, right? Nobody would have a girlfriend at that point anymore. They'd just be, you know, something. I don't know. But, you know, it's just really unfortunate. Lee Dobbs says, Ashen, an indie game Xbox had no influence on. You're really going to lose your stuff when Final Fantasy VII Remaster comes to Xbox. Listen, I don't care about that game, to be honest with you. If it comes to, I did a video about it. If it comes to Xbox, then it comes to Xbox. I personally don't care one way or the other. Okay, what I'm saying is, the developer said they had no plans to put it to PS4 or Switch. It was in Game Pass day and date, like Xbox exclusives, and Microsoft hyped it up, and Xbox fans hyped it up. So why shouldn't we talk about it as not as what it is? That's what I'm saying. So you can't sit there and go, oh, well, it was an indie game, blah, blah, blah. Well, how does that stop anything? Most of the games that Microsoft released are indie games, you know? So, yeah, I understand what you're saying, but at the same time, you have to understand what I'm saying as well. Next Doc says, Microsoft does believe in exclusive streamers, exclusive games for Windows 10 Store, exclusively paying for Xbox Live on console, just not exclusives for Xbox the console. Yeah, that's my problem all along as well, is the fact that Microsoft just doesn't get it in terms of who should be entitled to what. Now, I'm not saying that I'm an entitled type person, because I'm not. Like, I believe that, you know, we kind of all get what we get. But at the same time, I also feel like, you know, as paying Xbox Live Gold members, we should definitely be getting a little bit more for our buck. You know, we should be able to disable our, you know, the crossplay and not have to worry about cheaters and stuff like that, at least in my opinion. Hold on. Dominic says, what games coming to PS4 got to the point? I don't know what you're saying. Yeah, I'm not exactly sure. Marquis says, crap, are you bored? Why do this? Gamers play games, facts, buy every platform and just get down. Oh, no, I'm not bored. I do a stream every Monday. It's called Crappy Mondays. Maybe you heard of it. You know, some people enjoy coming out here, like, just talking and, you know, answer questions and stuff like that. No, I own every single platform. I spent $500. Why does it always go to Gamer's Game? I get it. I game. I do. But if I spent $550 on an Xbox One X and I'm disappointed because I was promised exclusives and content from Microsoft and they failed to deliver, shouldn't I do that? Isn't this a gaming channel? I mean, yeah, I do gaming content. This is what I do. I'm going to talk about it. Why is it any worse for me to talk about it than it is from some pro Xbox YouTuber to blow smoke up your butt about how great Xbox is and how amazing Scarlett's going to be? Okay? Because there is no amazing Scarlett, in my opinion, unless you can get some kind of exclusive content for it. Like, what's the point? What's the point? It is the platform of double standards for sure. Y9 Power says, Xbox fans need to support RPGs. Xbox 360 had good RPGs, yet they complain about not having Persona on Xbox. Well, listen, not only did they have good RPGs on the Xbox 360, but just that generation in general had phenomenal RPGs all over. Let's see. Another user says, would you ever go back to being a fanboy like you were in the start of the generation? You seem more open-minded now. No. I could never go back to just being all Xbox all the time. I want them to announce great games. If they announce great games, I'll be like, heck yeah, I can't wait to play that. Great job, Microsoft. But the days where I'm just like, Phil Spencer's the man, and we trust, excuse me, I'm not going to be like that. I'm not going to do that, okay? Hey, I'm going to get control on PS4 if I can, but if somebody wants to game gift it to me on Xbox, I'll take it there too, but I would rather play it on PS4. I know my pal Mooch, he's playing it on PS4, so I'll have to see how it is. Let me see. Con City says, I'm naming my girlfriend Scarlett so I can dump her. Zing. I hear you. Low End Average Gamer says, I was just trying to back you up on the importance of exclusives crap. I feel as if you are alone on an island a lot of times, just showing you have some backup on your side. No, listen, I definitely appreciate it. I can tell, like, some of the regulars and stuff, I really appreciate it, because there are times where you do feel kind of alone when you're talking about this stuff. I just saying that for me personally, I couldn't sit up here and just be like, and no, listen, I want everybody to know this out in the open. I am not mocking any particular YouTuber. I have no beef with anybody. I have all that stuff's in the past. I'm just saying for me personally, I would have trouble with consciously and my conscience go out there and talk up Xbox at a time like this when I know for a fact, and just using common sense and what the knowledge that we've been given from Microsoft and these studios to know that there's not going to be any exclusive games, anything new for many years yet to come. Okay, I mean, we're going to get another Halo next year. We're getting another Gears of War in, a week and a half. but we're not getting anything new for many years. And people should go into next gen knowing that. And I feel like I'm not trying to persuade anybody away from getting Xbox. I'm just saying, be aware, if you are the type of person that wants something exclusive or make you feel special about spending $600 on a console next gen, Xbox, you might want to, check into it a little bit and do a little bit of research, because they're not going to come out and go, we're not going to have exclusives for 3 years, anything new or AAA, meaning you're going to actually have to wait 8 years. Because think about it, we haven't had a AAA exclusive new IP announced since 2015. That was Sea of Thieves. That's a long time ago. We're almost in 2020, okay? And if you still got to go 3 more years into that, you're talking about 8 years. That's almost 2 traditional generations, folks. Why should a $1 trillion company make fans who spent thousands of dollars on their hardware wait that long for new exclusive content or for announcements, right? It wouldn't even be so bad if you got some announcements, but they don't even know how to hype people up. That's the problem. They can't hype up anything. Their hype is the worst hype. It's the anti-hype. I don't get it. I've never seen worst hype in my life. Hey, we are 11 away from 100 likes. Please hit that like button. I would appreciate it. Let me see. Next doc says, crap, if people say gamers game, then why not game on PlayStation where they have the multiplats? Actually fight for the consumer's money, get exclusive content, and great exclusive. This is what I'm saying, okay? The PS4 right now, you can play all those great exclusives and all the multiplats, okay? And they get second and third party exclusives and time content and exclusive content. So yeah, I totally get that. That's what's appealing to me for next generation, right? I know they're going to go all out to make me happy as a fan. Yeah, I'm not excited about the Xbox Scarlett at all, because we haven't seen anything from them. We haven't heard anything. There's no leaks. They're not going to suddenly get, Xbox exclusive games or, I like VR. So when are we going to get some VR from Microsoft or something? That's what I'm saying. Like, I want to see some of this great stuff from Microsoft. I want to see them do some amazing things for a change, and I feel like they haven't really done a good job of it. I just think that it's unfortunate. Not only that, but Sony have a tendency to outdo Microsoft at almost every turn. And I've never seen anything like it. Main reason being is Microsoft will get in all these new studios, right? And most of them nobody cares about. The Double Fines, the In Exiles, the Compulsion games. People really don't care about those studios, or Undead Labs. I can hardly wait to play another State of Decay game. Ugh. But, then Sony goes and outdoes them with one purchase, and they get Insomniac Games. Like, that studio can pump out 3 games at a time. They've done like 6 or so games this generation. They do everything from VR to small type games, like the indie type games with Song of the Deep, Ratchet and Clank, Sunset Overdrive, Spider-Man. Like, honestly, that's a studio that you can get excited about, because they've been able to do so many games, and they're quality games in a short amount of time. And then you look at Microsoft's side, and they don't really have anything that compares to that. It's like, who's their best developer? If I were to ask you guys in the chat, who's Microsoft's best developer? Like, let me know who you think Microsoft's best developer is. Is it 343? They're never going to do anything but Halo. They're a Halo cover band. Is it the Coalition? They're never going to do anything but Gears. They're a Gears cover band, okay? That's just a fact. Now, I will say this. Rod Ferguson is super passionate about Gears of War, and that shows. That's really great. Halo on the other side, 343, they don't seem like they're very passionate about that franchise at all, at least that I can tell, at least in the same kind of way that Rod Ferguson and company are about Gears of War. So that's something that I really have to say is kind of disappointing in my opinion. You know what I'm saying? Dual Purpose says, what nobody understands is Microsoft corporate plan this. It's called organized confusion. They're using Game Pass to boost Xbox Live subs. Game Pass itself makes such a small amount of money. Yeah, Game Pass doesn't make a ton of money. If you look at what they're doing, they keep offering like $1 Game Pass or $2 Game Pass or whatever. And realistically, sure, that's going to look good when you're like, you tell your people, well, we're up this amount of things or this amount of people or whatever. But at the same time, for what? Who's that really paying off for? Like, I don't think that's really paying off for anybody at the end of the day. So yeah, I do feel a little bit like that's a disnomer for Microsoft, that they're really hoping for this or that or the other thing, so it looks good to them, right? They're more concerned with looking good than actually being good, and that to me says everything you need to know about Microsoft. You know, they stopped reporting on units sold as soon as they got smoked. They're still currently smoked. You know, it's like 100 million units to whatever it is, 28 million, 32 million, whatever you want to say, doesn't really matter. The bottom line is 60 million units they're behind, and the Switch is passing them. So, you know, like I said, it doesn't particularly matter what they do. Like, I don't understand. If you're going to go second or third party or whatever it is, then do it. You know, one week it's, oh, we're not going to put our games on other stuff. And then now, you know, they are going to put stuff on other stuff. And then they aren't. And then they are. You know, like they're like Ross Perot. He's running for president. And then he's not. And then he is. Then he's not. Right? It's like you can't be that way. You've got to really come out there and say, hey, this is what the plan is. This is what we're going to do. And this is what we're going to execute. It's just with Phil, people treat Phil with kid gloves, right? They're like, trust the process. I never seen people have such admiration for like a person who realistically has well surpassed the amount of time that he should have in that role that he's in my opinion. Okay, you know, 5 years in and you're like, well, what have you done for us in terms of games? Okay, you could have bought us an exclusive, you could have bought us some kind of content, something to make us feel great as Xbox gamers, and what have you done? There's not really much that they've done, you know, like game-wise, and that's, I think, is a big problem, you know, just because I feel like we deserve better, and the fact that we haven't had better so far is very disheartening, to say the least. And I hope that Microsoft understands that and goes out and tries to get people, you know, a little bit some kind of compensation for that, because they promised to give us stuff for different exclusives going to Sony or whatever, and we never actually got that. So, hold on. Obscure Art says, but crap, it takes 10 years to get a new IP. Everyone knows that. Man, it does not take no 10 years to get a new IP. Listen, they completely redid God of War. That's a soft reboot. I don't care what anybody says. It's a soft reboot. So, they have that as a soft reboot, and they completely redid it. It's a completely different type of game. New voice actor, new story, new everything. Loosely based off the old games, though. And that game only took, what, 5 years? And I think Spider-Man took less than 4, took 3 years to make. So, yeah, there's definitely ways about making these games that doesn't take a million years or whatever to do. And I think that Microsoft can do that. They just have to, you know, get people excited for it as well. You got to get your fans really excited about what's going on, and the fact that they fail to do that time and time again, it's a bit of a bummer or whatever, you know. And again, I'm excited for Gears of War 5. I think Gears of War 5 is going to be a really good game, but I just think that it's going to probably take time. So this is exactly what I was talking about the other day. In case you guys missed it, Microsoft has now said that they want to see Game Pass on all platforms, and this comment was made exactly 2 days after they had confirmed that no, they have no plans, quote unquote, per Greenberg, to add their games to any other platform. So this is a Game Reactor interview. Microsoft's Ben Decker and Matt Percy talked about the future of Game Pass and what they envision, and at some point they want to see it expanding into everything. That's their natural end game. It says, you know, we would like to see Game Pass on all platforms ultimately, and I think that is a long-term goal. We don't have any specific plans today, but we would love to see Game Pass really go everywhere. So, again, everywhere would be Nintendo Switch, the PlayStation 4. I think truly the only thing that keeps Game Pass and xCloud, I think the only thing that keeps these things and even Xbox exclusives, because we've heard that the Master Chief Collection was actually talked about as going to the PlayStation 4 earlier this generation, and the only thing that really kind of saved it is the fact that Sony doesn't want their stuff on the PlayStation. So I think that's something that's pretty cool to kind of look forward to as well as we go like forward into gaming in the future and stuff like that. I just hope that Microsoft actually does deliver with some of their exclusives and realize it. And sometimes you actually start to think that maybe they do get it, right? Oh, maybe they actually do get it, but you know, and then sometimes you just sit there and you go, and you look at something and you go, well, maybe they don't get it because this is asinine right here, you know. I just think that that's something that we have to kind of pay attention to as well. You know, Microsoft changes a lot of stuff like this. They say they have a lot of surprises planned for XO19. They say, and I'll read you this article as well. So Microsoft announced during Gamescom that they're bringing back XO once again this year. If you guys remember last year's XO, Phil goes, "Yeah, I heard the criticism. It would have, people wanted to hear a game announced. Like, you heard the criticism then, but not the past 4.5 years. Okay. So yeah, XO 2019. Speaking to this article, Aaron Greenberg, who is the Xbox Games Marketing General Manager, said Microsoft has got a lot of surprises planned for the show, and it's going to include games and announcements from both Xbox Game Studios as well as third parties. So yeah, I mean, there is that. Additionally, Greenberg said, and he confirmed that there's going to be new announcements for completely new games as well. He says, we do an Inside Xbox show. We do a live show. It is our biggest Inside Xbox show of the year. We have a lot of surprises planned. We have a lot of content coming from both Xbox Game Studios as well as third parties, and we have the surprises. I'll just leave it at that. He reiterated later, but yeah, I think that we'll have a great show. Last year's Xbox XO event was Game Pass centric, and we can probably expect the same from the new one. Look, anytime we've had any kind of XO event or new thing for Xbox, even E3, almost felt like a sort of a infomercial for Game Pass. And lately it's been Game Pass on PC, so not even Game Pass on Xbox. So that's a little bit of a bummer, in my opinion. But hopefully we can see some stuff in the future from them. Hit the like button if you guys are just joining me. I would definitely appreciate that. It certainly means a lot to me. Share it out as well, and I'm going to read some of these comments and ask some questions, all that kind of good stuff. Don't forget to do some super chats. A couple of people asked me to set up, I don't know if you guys knew this, but there's a way that you can get people like perks, memberships to join your channel. I got a few of them. I'm going to be doing once a month. It's sort of like a Patreon thing, but it's on YouTube. So I'm about to set this up, and I've been setting it up. But one of the perks is going to be I'm going to be answering questions once a month, like live, like on camera and stuff like that. So people that are supportive of that, is going to be exclusive to them only. And a couple other things. Not going to be expensive. Just some people were asking to support or whatever. And I guess I see a lot of people doing it. So I figure why not? You know what I mean? I have, 58,000 subscribers and dropping. So at least as long as I got some subscribers, it might be a good idea to do it. And some other stuff or whatever, you get like emojis or whatever, just some little silly stuff, a couple bucks here or there. So I just wanted to let you guys know about that, because there were some people that asked. TD Bank says, I hope for Microsoft's sake Sony continues to be anti-consumer and not allow Game Pass on PlayStation. Someone's got to be the bad guy to save Microsoft from their own stupidity. Listen, I think that Sony gets it. Like, if you don't have if you don't sit there and have Microsoft save Microsoft from themselves, then you're going to have a situation where gaming gets stale. We can't afford to have gaming get stale and have no competition, right? No matter who it is. You could be the biggest PlayStation fanboy or the biggest Xbox fanboy or Nintendo fanboy, but you cannot have stale gaming. You gotta have everything going forward. You gotta have that competition, right? When one company's doing something, the other company does something to match it. When one thing goes on sale, the other thing goes on sale. You've got to do things that way. You've got to keep things kind of going that way to kind of go that. Yeah, on your kill it. I hope so, man. Listen, I don't understand the people that just come there and dislike anymore. To be honest with you, I don't understand it. Like, I see lots of people that do pro PlayStation or pro Xbox or just cover middle road. I consider myself to be a little bit more middle of the road. So it does seem a little bit weird that people just, I guess, have that vitriol for me where they just want to, not do just whatever. You know what I mean? It's kind of annoying. I got face videos coming, like I said, and then I'm going to be doing questions I'm going to be answering questions on those, and I might launch that in a day or so. I'm still working on like the badges and stuff like that, and a video specifically for to launch this or whatever. But yeah, I got some stuff. Some of the stuff is taking a little bit more time, you guys, because they ended Hangouts, and I'm stuck learning OBS. And not only that, but if you guys didn't know, I work full time. I'm a dog trainer and work with animal rescue. So I work full time. I work super early, like early in the day. I get done early, so that allows me to be able to do streams like this and to make videos. But I also am getting married, and it takes a lot of time and effort and stuff like that. So I haven't had as much time to learn OBS as I'd like. So that thankfully Sully's been helping on Wednesdays with Xbox Nation, but I can't always, count that he's going to be able to do that. And, I need to be able to kind of run this stuff on myself as well in the future. So hopefully you guys get that. And like I said, every little bit counts. I actually need to upgrade the CPU in this PC, even though it's a newer build, just because it's not good enough for rendering videos like I thought it would be, and also running OBS. For some reason, it doesn't run as good as I thought it would as well. So yeah, all this stuff kind of helps out, and just really comes down to just you guys, So yeah. I just wanted to kind of let you guys know that. And I am appreciative. Look, I'm not ever one to be unappreciative. No matter what happens, man, I always say, if stuff ends for me on this YouTube tomorrow, I had a hell of a run. I had a really great run. I'm happy with a lot of the stuff I did, unhappy with a lot of the stuff I did. So like anything in life, look, I could be the next Andrew Luck. We don't know, but yeah, I'm having fun with this right now, and the support. It's hard because it's almost like starting over, because I built up so many people that were fans of mine who were Xbox fans or whatever, and they don't like it, and maybe rightly so. They don't like it if you're coming out against Xbox all of a sudden, and you're saying some things that they don't like, and I get it, like maybe I'm too negative at times, but that's just kind of my nature. I really just want to say that I hope that you guys that have stuck with me continue to stick with me, and I'm taking criticism, constructive criticism, all that kind of good stuff. I'm going to be doing reviews again too. So part of the perk thing that I'm talking about, and it's not like huge money or anything, it's like $1.99 or something, is I'm going to be doing a vote via social media, so people can vote. I'll put up like 4 games, and then the majority will win like which one I'll review. Okay, then I'll get that game and review it. So it kind of just works like that. So I'll be adding more reviews because I want to get back into doing like the reviews and doing some of this other stuff and having fun with Capital Foundry. And I feel like I don't want to get kind of have that stuff be lost in the shuffle of everything else. So I'm very forthright with you guys on here about what's going on. So hopefully you can appreciate that. Hit the like button. I appreciate it. Let's see. Matt Booty is Phil's chosen. Yes, man. I agree with that. Hold on. FR Dispatch says that answers it. Crapgamer's fiance made him switch to PS4 fanboy before saying yes. No, she actually wasn't much of a gamer. She likes stuff like Puzzle Quest or stuff like that. She likes kart racing games. She was and stuff like that. But yeah, she wasn't much of a gamer. I've got her into gaming a bit more lately. You know what was funny, which I will point this out. If you're an Xbox fan, I'm going to point out this, okay? And I might have been the first one to point this out. So Eurogamer, they did this article yesterday called Quantum Break is Remedy's most fascinating work to date. And it's this new article that goes on to talk about it and stuff like that. Cool, right? The problem is, I think Eurogamer is the one that trashed that game for being 720p in 2016. And they were like, well, it's really unheard of for there to be a 720p game at this particular time, So I always felt like, even though people might think I've abandoned Xbox, I will call it out where I call out BS, you know what I mean? And that was BS because they were one of the ones that really kind of trashed that game, which I thought was a good game. It wasn't a great game. Okay, I felt like if they had just had cutscenes and the game was longer, they would have been on to something. But the fact that it looks like Control maybe is what Quantum Break could have been, a sequel, and I think that that's great. You know what I mean? Like Microsoft really could have had that. Just think about that, right? They could have had a sequel out right now. We could be getting a sequel to Quantum Break. This could be a sequel, an exclusive Xbox One sequel to Quantum Break. I mean, they look so alike, right? And that really kind of grinds my gears as well. We get this situation where, it doesn't seem to ever pay off in our favor as Xbox fans. And that's, pretty unfortunate in my opinion. And I hope that, Microsoft can kind of listen in the future or whatever. Hold on. Y9 Power says, I'm still an Xbox fan, but truth is truth. Microsoft puts out crap and fails and no one complained. Whose fault is that? Not really Microsoft. It's silence of fans. I agree. Let's see. Maestro says this was the worst console gen to lose because of digital libraries and subscriptions. Hey, this was something that I said a while ago as well. Okay, coming from the 360 PS3 era, no games I think were available day and date digitally as they were physically. right? They always came later, on demand, quote unquote, remember? And so now we're at a situation where Microsoft doesn't have that kind of leniency, right? Everybody's buys games digitally, or we take these games whether we pay for games with Gold or PlayStation Plus. So realistically, we're kind of stuck with what we're stuck with, and I don't mind. I think that it's fine. Like, a lot of people end up with both. I have to be honest. I'm almost at 900 games on my Xbox One, but I don't feel any need to buy an Xbox Scarlett anytime soon, unless they blow me away with like hit after hit, new AAA after new AAA IP. I don't see me getting a Scarlett for years. It's going to be an expensive console, and if tariffs are involved, then even more expensive. It puts if it's a $500 console, tariffs add another $50 on that in the U.S. Okay, so yeah, if it's a $550 console, add 50 to it. It's $600. That's a crazy amount for a game console, especially when I spent so much on an Xbox One X, and I feel like I haven't got my money's worth. Yes, some third-party games like Devil May Cry 5 look great on this console, right? I'm not going to lie. But at the same time, I just feel like, we haven't got anything exclusive-wise. It's like a bunch of cartoony games. I just really hope that, that they work on that in the future. Like, somebody has to be there to tell them, hey, you guys should really do something different. Hold on, I see this comment, and I'm going to allow it to go out there. TD Bank says, TD Bank says they could have more exclusives than Sony and Nintendo combined because they're filthy rich, but instead, they're gun-shy cowards and won't spend a damn penny to support their brand. This is exactly right. Do you think Xbox will let somebody take over Scalebound? That game needs to be made. No, because there's too much negative stigma around it. Tactical Kitty says Chick-fil-A or Popeyes. I have never been to either one of those, so I don't know. I know it's weird. Next Doc says, Crapgamer, one thing about Phil people don't know is he is one of the heads of the board fighting to keep insidious monetization techniques in games, and Xbox fans think he wants the best for them. Look, Phil Spencer is a very smart person, right? I can remember when he threw me under the bus and was like, hey, you want to cancel your pre-order because other people can play your game or play a game, like, and that wasn't even what I was arguing with him about. So he's very smart. He's very meticulous. I definitely feel like it's something that, that people, like, he is. He's just he knows how to spin things, and he can talk. He can talk and really sound. It makes sense, right? When Phil's talking, it makes a lot of sense and things sound good. And he's like, well, we're gonna do this. It's just like a politician, and we're gonna do that. And then at the end of the day, what they end up doing just isn't that good, in my opinion. So yeah, I just find it to be a lot of the things that he says not genuine, and that's unfortunate. Hopefully in the future or whatever, they can come out and be a little bit more open and honest with people. And I think the fans deserve that. We definitely deserve things to be kind of out there in the open for us, and just to be honest, share if something's coming out, let us know. I feel like we don't get enough credit as fans for having some intelligence. Just let us know. No Man's Sky PSVR is really good. TGK2, yes, it is always really good. I think that it's going to be absolutely something. If you play VR, if you have a PSVR, I absolutely recommend this game. I really do. So play it. It's great. It's a great experience. Sean Lade may not know much about games, but he knows what gamers want. Phil Spencer is a gamer, but has no clues what gamers want. I knew this when me and Phil Spencer had a bit of a back and forth at one particular time. We were talking about exclusive games and stuff, and E3. This was like a year and a half ago. And he was telling me that he was always going to be at odds with hardcore fans because he doesn't believe in exclusive games. And how you can be at odds with hardcore fans, the people that got you there, I will never know. The hardcore fans are the ones that spend the money, not the casual fans, the hardcore fans. We're the ones out there dropping thousands of dollars. I have, 5 Xbox consoles. I bought 5 Xbox consoles this generation. We're the one, 800, 900 games. peripherals, 2 elite controllers, 8 other types of controllers, like 4 headsets. Like, we're the ones that spend the most money. So why they would try to dick us around, I have no clue. It makes absolutely no sense, and it's very disheartening to see them kind of do that. Hey, can we get up to 160 likes? I would appreciate it. Calls D4C says, even Tim Dog can't damage control Battletoads. Look, Tim Dog's a good friend of mine. Me and him did a show for many years. He is just a hardcore Xbox person. I can understand it. You know what I mean? Way more hardcore than I am. But again, a lot of these people that are doing like the hardcore Xbox thing and the hardcore Xbox defense stuff, they've actually broke bread with these people, right? And what I mean by that is they've had, they go and have, lunch with these people and dinner with these people at these events. And so they like them in a different sort of way, like, almost on like a family sort of way, right? And so they have that loyalty to them. And I think that's fine. But not everybody has had brunch with Phil Spencer, or, you know what I mean? Like, for me personally, I kind of got out of that whole thing where I was like, oh, man, I'm so enamored. Like, Phil Spencer, blah, blah, blah. Phil Spencer said this, or Phil Spencer said that. Like, now you just realize that it's all kind of nonsense. And, Phil Spencer is just going to say whatever he's going to say to get people to buy his platform and to spend money on his platform. Doesn't matter if the games are exclusive. It doesn't matter, and none of that stuff matters. And that's kind of unfortunate, in my opinion. Let me see here. 350 watching. Like the video, share it out. I appreciate it. Yeah, Microsoft sees dollars. That's 100% true. The doctor says, are you planning on getting Control? I think it looks interesting game, and I enjoyed Quantum Break. If you want to hook me up, man, MOH Crapgamer is my name on Xbox Live. I know you can't game gift on, on that, but whatever. Dude, it's so bad that Xbox controller video has yet another controller video. Microsoft does not get it. Yeah, they do a lot of the controller stuff, right? Like, I guess those things are doing well for them. You know what I mean? Like, I bought a bunch of them, but I stopped buying so many. The last one that I bought was the Sea of Thieves one. That was just a regular one because I have 2 Elite controllers. I bought the white Elite controller. Well, actually, the cool thing about the white Elite controller is I had Xbox rewards saved up from all the rewards from buying games and stuff like that. So, excuse me. So it was pretty cool. Like, I only had to pay like $5 out of pocket or something like that. It was very, very little or whatever. So, it was interesting. So, you guys want to hear something else? This just came out today. Greenberg talking about more studio acquisitions, but happy with the studios that they have right now. So I'll read this a little bit to you. Aaron Greenberg, very talkative lately, says, in response to a question in an interview, Xbox's thought process in regards to acquiring more studios, Aaron Greenberg had this to say. He said, it's a tough question to answer. What I would say is we were very deliberate. I think Phil spoke to this as well. There was a period of time in which we were very focused on adding more content to our first-party studios. At E3 a year prior, we announced 5 new teams that joined. Then we added 2 more at XO, and then Double Fine this year. It's been exciting, and it's been great getting to know all these teams, going out and sitting down with Ninja Theory or the team at Obsidian or In Exile, and seeing the stuff that they're working on now that people know about, and the secret things. There we go, folks. He's got to hype you up. The secret things that they're working on now, that are in the works that people don't know about. Well, we'll in time be sharing more about those. I think we feel good about the level of content we have coming from our internal studios. But we felt good about that, and then the opportunity with Double Fine came, and that was a perfect fit. You never know, but right now I think where we are with our 15 internal studios, we feel really good about the amount of content we're getting from that, whether it's supporting Project Scarlett or supporting Game Pass on PC and console. We feel like we have a healthy set of content across multiple genres, multiple game types, and that will excite our fans. When asked if Microsoft would be open to in-house studios making games on multiple platforms, Aaron Greenberg said they were focused on Xbox and PC. He said our internal studios are focused on making games for our platforms, Xbox and PC. We have a set of teams that are working on exclusive first-party games that we don't plan to make changes to that. And I'm excited about is that we've added 8 new studios, and each of these studios that we acquired is working on multiple projects. There's going to be a lot of new games coming out on Xbox I think fans are going to be really excited about, and more than ever probably in the history of Xbox, that's incredibly exciting. So he's throwing around some big words and stuff. Best exclusives, more exclusives, biggest exclusives. Like, this is all stuff, like, I know that I'm going to get some crap for this, but It's all stuff we've heard before. Every single year is the best E3 ever, or the best Xbox games lineup ever, right? Even this past E3, the best Xbox games lineup ever, the biggest ever, blah, blah, blah. Like, we hear this literally every single year, and so now we're supposed to believe it. You know what I mean? In 2014, that was going to be the best, the biggest Xbox exclusive lineup ever. And it never ends up working out the way that they promise, which is sort of unfortunate or whatever. So, yeah, do I actually believe any of this stuff? I don't know. It's like they're so back and forth with every single thing that they talk about, you know what I mean, that you never know who to believe. And I feel like that's a real problem for a lot of Xbox fans. You know, we just want to see them do better, and I think that, you know, hopefully we can get them to do better in the long run, and that's the long-term goal, as far as I can see, is to them to actually do more exclusive content and get people excited about the brand again. Because right now, and I've mentioned this a couple of times, Xbox is is not cool right now. Xbox isn't like thought of as like a big thing anymore. Like, people aren't, you know, it's not cool. People aren't like, oh man, did you get an Xbox? It's just not like that. People aren't super excited about it. Oh wow, this is interesting. So you guys might hear about this too. This is some breaking news, right? So you guys remember that game Deep Down? It was going to be a PlayStation 4 game, launch game. They showed it off at the launch of the PS4. It's rebranded as Shinsekai Into the Depths, and this is a rumor right now. So it looks like it could be making a comeback. I don't know. Deep Down has been it was first announced all the way back in 2013 as a PS4 exclusive. The dungeon crawler looked like an absolute beautiful title. 6 years later, we're still waiting for the game to come out. Looks like Capcom has filed a trademark in Europe. Speculation suggests it could be a new lease of life for Deep Down. The Into the Depths subtitle makes those dots very easy to connect, but you also have to keep in mind that this is no official word, and, you know, take everything with a grain of salt. I don't know. That's pretty interesting. That was one of the more interesting titles that we saw. Again, that's why you can't. It's sometimes definitely hard to sort of just believe in something. You know, when they're trying to sell you onto something right away, right? So I always feel like that's something that people got to kind of keep in mind. Is these people are going to try to sell you everything, including the kitchen sink. You know, and the fact of the matter is, should you buy it? I mean, that's a real question, you know, and hopefully people can like kind of make up that for themselves, their own mind or whatever. So yeah. Wait, MD6199 says this drama channel XD. I hope you're joking, okay? Because I got to be honest with you, drama, in my opinion, is, oh man, this person did this. Heck no, I'm going to say this about this person. No, I don't do any of that stuff, man. I'm talking about video games. I'm unhappy with Xbox. No drama whatsoever. Dominic says, where's Microsoft's VR? They keep saying, hey, VR to them is on the Windows 10. That's what they care about. That's their VR device. I don't know. Like, I would love VR to come to Xbox. It would give me a huge reason to buy an Xbox Scarlett. The fact that they don't seem to care or want VR really is sad. I really think that that's kind of depressing. You know, I would love it. They promised us VR, and we never got it. So hopefully in the future they can sort of like listen to the fans and take some of that feedback and actually go out there and deliver what they promised, because I feel like that's something that they've kind of failed to do, especially recently. And, you know, I would love to see them actually go out there and kind of actually deliver something for a change that people actually want. You know, and so far we haven't seen them actually deliver anything in terms of the games themselves anyway, right? So sure, they've given us some stuff in terms of, you know, what they've been able to offer in terms of services, and those things are great, right? Services are fine. You know, EA Access, Game Pass, what have you. These are fine. I like those services. They're fine. But what good are they without something exclusive or something that really kind of pushes what these boxes can do? And that's always been kind of my problem is they've definitely failed us in many directions, and that's probably the biggest way that they've kind of failed us. But hopefully Microsoft can, you know, continue to learn from their mistakes. Again, I don't want Microsoft to fail. They need to be there. They need to fight that fight against Sony and Nintendo, and they need to sort of make great games and get people excited about the platform and gaming in general. So, you know, I really do think that that's something they need to do. Did you guys see, I don't know if you guys saw this or not, it's been floating around, this PlayStation 5 design. It's not the PlayStation 5. It looks like it's a dev kit. Sort of looks like a V with all these different vents and stuff like that. The reason why I thought that that was a very interesting thing was because what we see is that Sony has kind of taken to heart what the big problems were with the PlayStation 4 and the PlayStation 4 Pro. So, while the PS4 and the PS4 Pro are very quality things in and of themselves, you have to keep in mind that, you know, they had their problems, right? Like one of the big problems, obviously, the fact that the console sounds like a plane's taking off at times, okay? So it looks like with all these vents and stuff, it's going to be a way to kind of fix that and fix the problems and stuff like that, and I think that's great. You know, you can't just rest on your laurels. Like, Sony can't just go, we dominated this generation, we'll definitely dominate next generation, we don't need to do anything to change. Like, obviously, they're correcting things that they needed to change. Backwards compatibility, crossplay, these are not going to be big selling points of Xbox alone anymore, right? Like, PlayStation 5 is going to be backwards compatible. It's going to have crossplay. Like, this is stuff that Sony needed to do, and they've actually been able to do it at a perfect time, because this was going to be things that really made Microsoft seem like they had an edge, and now, like, they don't have an edge. That's the thing. They definitely don't have an edge anymore, and when you go into next generation, it's going to come down to the exclusive content, and they don't have it. Xbox One 4K says looks like a toilet seat. Y9 Power says V equals 5. I could see that. I don't think that the console itself is going to end up looking like a V. I think that would be ridiculous. But I do think that what we're going to see is, you know, like I said, the vents. It's going to really solve a lot of those problems, that ventilation problems that they had, and hopefully they can kind of get that out there and get that to work a little bit better, because that's going to be very important just going forward. Gerald Riviera says, crap, PS4 owners are now committed to the ecosystem and now bring their library of games to the PS5. How can Xbox compete with that? I think the Xbox is trying to compete with that with Game Pass, but whether or not that works, I'm not sure that's something that's going to work for them long term. Like, you have to keep in mind that, you know, that's not something that's going to, like, bring a lot of people into the fold. You know what I mean? Like, I just feel like it's not something that, you know, tons of people are going to go, oh, well, look, I can't wait to play those games that I don't actually own over here. You know what I mean? So that's what I'm thinking. You know, it's going to be interesting to see how that all plays out. But hopefully Microsoft does the right thing and takes examples from Sony going forward. Hey, almost 400 watching. What a great Crappy Mondays. Please hit the like button. Maybe I know we can get over 200 likes. So please hit that like button. I would definitely appreciate it. It definitely means a lot to me. So yeah, like, I think that that's interesting that it's shaped like a V or whatever. Not only that, but Matthew Stott from Codemasters, who actually, I believe he maybe used to work for Sony. It's a pretty big name in the industry. He made a tweet and then deleted it, and he had a link to the story about this where he said that his company already has some PS5 development kits in the office, and there was an image attached to the tweet as well, which showed off what it would be. I'm not sure if it's the console itself. Usually the dev kits are different looking than the actual consoles themselves, but I thought it was very interesting because the other video that I did the other day was how this RPG leaked, and it wasn't a PlayStation exclusive, but what was interesting about it was they only had it running on the PlayStation 5 dev kit, which means the PlayStation 5 dev kits are further matured than the Xbox Scarlett ones, and more people have them, which means the PlayStation 5 is likely going to be the lead platform on pretty much everything, especially starting at the launch, which means games are going to look better and run better and take better advantage of that hardware than, say, what's happening on Microsoft's side. So yeah, there is that, and they're more mature, and they're actually and what really was kind of set my heart to speed faster was that it was actually employing ray tracing on the PS5 version. So many people said that ray tracing wasn't going to be available on the PS5, blah, blah, blah. And now we find out that, hey, not only is it available on the PS5, but, hey, here was this game, this open world RPG running with that. So, yeah, I thought that was pretty kick-ass, and I love seeing that, to be honest with you. So, yeah, definitely saw some cool stuff. Xbox already competes they get a good head start with cross-gen, back-compat, cross-gen meaning OG Xbox, Xbox One. Well, you can't really do that with the original Xbox. Gerald Riviera says crappy reviews. Maestro Shine says breaking news, Crackdown 4 coming to Xbox Scarlett. I hope not. I hope that game is dead. Richie says, crap, if you say an Xbox exclusive goes, but you didn't say which, it feels like kind of a... No, dude, I already did, and I linked it. I said Ashen, and I linked it in the description, bro. Nothing clickbaity here. And I also mentioned right away which one it was. And I also mentioned that I didn't think it was personally a big deal, but it was more of a PR thing since Microsoft has already said, hey, we're not going to be, we don't plan on putting any of our games on anything else. The developers themselves said that they weren't going to put the game on PS4 or Switch, and then here they are putting the games on PS4 and Switch. So, yeah, it's not a huge, it's not Gears or Halo or Forza, but this was a game that went day and date into Game Pass, and it's a game that, Microsoft hyped up as being one of their exclusive games. So, yeah, I find that to be a little bit dubious and unfortunate. So, yeah, I did put that in there, and I did mention that earlier as well. So, yeah, I can appreciate you trying to keep me in check, my friend, but I definitely did that as well. What do I think is the future for Sunset Overdrive? I don't think we're going to see a Sunset Overdrive 2 ever, or at least not for a very, very long time. So, I guess it just depends on what Sony wants to do with it. But I believe that Sony is going to be busy sort of doing their own thing. That Ratchet & Clank, Spider-Man 2, with some VR stuff, I feel like that's going to be what they're going to be up to for the foreseeable future. I just don't see them I don't see them doing much else, to be honest with you. So, yeah, hopefully hopefully they can put out that Spider-Man 2. I know there's a lot of people that were upset, by what was going on with the Sony and Disney situation. But, at the same time, I just feel like that's really neither here nor there. So, we have to kind of keep that in mind when we're going forward with what's happening with their future of exclusives. So, yeah, just kind of wanted to put that out there as well, because that's very important. Just kind of to go forward, that you have to have that kind of content that gets people excited about your platform. And so far, Sony does a really good job with that. Nintendo does a good job with that. Nintendo has some other exclusive. Hold on, I'm going to tell you what the name of this game is. I had never even heard of it. Hold on, you guys probably know what it is. It doesn't seem like it's my type of game. Astral Chain. But that got a 9 out of 10 on IGN. So, yeah, seems like the Switch keeps pumping out these incredible exclusives at a huge rate, and I gotta say it's pretty impressive to see that as well. Let's see. Pedro says, I'm planning on trying to get into Gears of War since you're a series veteran. I want your opinion. Should I go for Gears 1 Ultimate or the original? Get the Ultimate of it one, because you get some extra content that was left out of the original. You know what I mean? So, yeah, I would definitely say get the Ultimate Edition. It's in Game Pass, so if you got, if you can put $1 down, then play it in Game Pass. That would be always the way that I would suggest kind of getting it and playing it. For me personally, yeah, just play it and then play Gears. The good thing is, if you have an Xbox One X, by the way, Gears 2 is 4K enhanced on the Xbox One X. So, yeah, you can play that in 4K. Native 4K on the Xbox One X as well, so that's pretty sweet. I'm not sure about Gears 3, but Gears 3 still looks and plays pretty damn good too. So, it's going to be very interesting to see how that kind of plays out or whatever. But yeah, I'm excited to see, what they can do and stuff like that. I hope that they can kind of, support and give fans exactly what they're looking for. I'm going to answer some more questions, and I'm going to get the heck out of here. Please hit the like button. I would love to get to 200. Where's Hellhammer? How's he doing? Hellhammer's doing good. He just works a lot, and I think his, he just works a lot, so he can't do, podcasting and stuff like that anymore. Do I think there'll be a PS5 Pro? Maybe, but if the PS5 can already do 4K 60, what would be the point? Dave GX says Scarlett is doing hardware ray tracing, though. Well, how do we know that PS5 isn't as well? I get that there were rumors, but if a game is running ray tracing on the PS5 already, how do we know that that's not hardware based? See, that's always my thing as well. Matthew B says, is Scarlett going to be more powerful? I've heard both things. No problem, Pedro. Appreciate it. Have I seen gameplay of Iron Man PSVR? If so, what do I think? I'm going to get it because I like VR, and I think that Iron Man is a perfect fit for that. You know, you're inside his suit or whatever. So I think that that's actually, you know, you put on the headset and boom, you're good to go. The EDM Gamer says PS5 will have the power of exclusives. Absolutely. Sergio says, I'm afraid next generation will be the end of Xbox. None of my friends bought an Xbox just because of FIFA. There are no FIFA players on Xbox. Well, yeah, that's the thing, right? Like Microsoft gave up that franchise or whatever. They had the marketing rights and some kind of exclusive content for a while, and then they just kind of gave that up or whatever. So, yeah, I do hope that they can kind of do the right thing later on down the road and sort of get that you know, out of the way or whatever. But yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how that plays out. I'm going to answer a couple more questions. Higher Point says, or Half Pint says, ray tracing is a gimmick until it no longer swallows frames. Yeah, you know, I mean, I would agree. Super chat crap, super chat crap, super chat crap. Hey man, I always appreciate that, man. Anybody that can spare a couple of pennies for a old chap. I would definitely appreciate it. Let's see. Matthew. Yeah, I mean, I guess I did. Phil Spencer sometimes. Oh, that's not right. That's not right. I'm going to answer a couple more questions, and then I got to get up out of here. Xbox Body Wash, TD Bank, says deodorant dolls won't be long till they start making, adult toys. Wow, that's harsh. That's harsh. That's harsh. Yeah, you know what? Listen. I think Xbox they have to be a little bit more self-aware, get people excited about what's going on, and I feel like if they don't, then they're not going to have anything for people to kind of gravitate towards. JD Gamer says, do you think the Scarlett dev kits are behind the PS5 because Microsoft is focusing on its internal studios? JD Gamer, this is a really good question. So from what I've heard from a couple of developers is that the PlayStation 5 dev kits are way more mature. But I've been led to believe that the Scarlett dev kits are more powerful, but we don't know what that means long term. Long term. I'm not really sure. So I would think that Microsoft are a little bit further behind. They're less mature with their dev kits, and so that means that developers have had Sony's for a while. We've had rumors that Sony's had theirs out for a while, so we'll have to see how that kind of works out. Roasted Justice says Astral Chain is done by Platinum after Scalebound got canceled. Yeah, you know what I mean? Yeah, that's something that you got to keep in mind as well. A sad harmonica song. Let's see what I got. There we go. Ode to Xbox. Oh, how I missed the Xbox 360. Snake says that's a lie. Ray tracing is not a gimmick. It's a real life lighting, shadows, and reflections. So it makes our games look more realistic. So yeah, you know, like this is what I've heard from it. I'm not like a huge like techie or anything, but yeah, if the way I understand it, ray tracing makes games look incredible. Now the one thing that I will say, which was a little bit weird, was the fact that apparently this game was only running at 30 frames per second and was struggling to run that. So yeah, I do think that that's a little bit unfortunate, but you know, hopefully we can see some stuff in the future where it's running better. Again, these consoles aren't even out. There's plenty of optimization, but if you're going to do ray tracing, it seems like your game's going to be 30 frames. And you know, is that what people want? I don't know. You know, like great looking games, like with the Xbox One X, I love the 4K games. Okay, I bought a 4K TV for that, so I don't really like the 60 frame stuff is cool and some stuff like, but for the most part, I don't particularly care. Doesn't really matter to me one way or the other. That's what I keep telling people. You know what I mean? It just honestly, it just doesn't really much matter to me in terms of you know, what's going on there. I just really want to see great things from Microsoft in the future or whatever, and hopefully they can continue to do that. You know what I mean? I just let's see, what else do we got here? I'm gonna answer a couple more and then I'm out of here. Yeah, Snakes, I'm with you, man. I'm a graphics guy as well. Matthew B says Crapgamer is trolling all PlayStation fans. Only a few more months left now. A few more months left of what? Until I lose all my subscribers and followers on Twitter. I'm a dastardly evil genius, right? Wow. I mean, some people really have like this idea that Crapgamer's all about something or other, and it's not true at all. Like, I'm just expressing how I feel, you know, and how I've been disappointed, man. I understand not everybody's been like that, but hey, you know, not everybody has spent almost $5,000 on Xbox this generation and feels completely ripped off the way that I do. So yeah, you know, keep that in mind when you're like, there, Crap's just trying to do this for views and this. No, I was getting way more the other way, just kissing Microsoft's butt and Xbox's butt, you know what I mean? Like, coming out and doing it, talking like truth and facts hasn't helped me, it's hurt me. So yeah, Wreckfest. Hey, I have Wreckfest, Pumpkin Queen. It's pretty good, I gotta say. It's really good. Hit the like button. Let's see. No big dev wants to work for Microsoft. Yeah, you know, it's unfortunate that we haven't seen that yet. I hope that Microsoft still has another big dev or two up their sleeves. I really, really hope that. Good show. Exactly. Y9 Power. I appreciate it. You know, I'll answer 2 more and then I'm out for good. Yeah, hit the like button. We're closing in on 200, man. I would love to get 200. I'd love to see that during a live stream. Xbox fans still think Crap is going back. It's over, boys. Xbox, I haven't left Xbox. I just want them to announce some games. Do I think Phil hates you? No, I don't think Phil hates me. I haven't really given him a reason to hate me. I think he's probably annoyed that I kind of question everything that he does. So yeah, I think that that's probably more or less like it. I haven't tried to talk to him super recently, so you know, I don't know exactly what his thoughts are about me. Microsoft only bought studios to get PS4 dev kits. What makes you think Xbox is going to change now? We know what they want to do. Hey, I agree right there, man. I don't think they're going to change. The next generation will be won by the console that can do ray tracing without killing performance. Well, I guess it depends, man. I'm looking forward to seeing who's going to be able to accomplish this stuff and who's going to be able to pull it off the best. But like I said, I wanted to come out here and do a quick video. Ended up being about an hour and 20 minutes. Yeah, the finest, man. I already talked about that, the deep down stuff. I appreciate it, bro. I talked about it a little bit earlier. I definitely thank you for always keeping me in the know on these stories and stuff, man. Much love, appreciate it. Please hit the like button, share it out. I definitely do appreciate it. Have a great day, you guys. I'll be back maybe tomorrow, definitely Wednesday for Xbox Nation, but more videos and stuff are coming. Thank you, guys. Please support me when you can. Love the support and to see all the positivity from you guys. Rack 'em up. Have a great day. Peace.